All right, ladies and gentlemen, MedSpa Marketing Insiders, welcome. Alex, how are you?
I'm great. I hope everybody else is doing the same. TGIF,
Yes.
because Saturdays are the best days to do work.
Yep. Yep. So we are talking about crafting the perfect offer, choosing the perfect offer. We're actually going to go through a city and do one live. So everybody has kind of insider tips with what we do at Patient Koala with helping people craft a perfect offer. And the goal is to just give you some tools and tips and tricks to really use all the resources. There's honestly a lot out there to do this. There's different philosophies, but what we found to be very successful for our clients is this exact strategy. Before we actually jump in, if you have a specific city that you want us to do, we can do it live. Just drop it in the comments down below.
So you got about 5 minutes to comment your city, and because we're gonna go over kind of an overview, and then we're going to get into actually details, and I'm just going to go research a random city if nobody comments a city to research Botox. So if you want us to check out your city, comment down below, because we're only doing Botox.
Free coaching. We charge a lot for coaching one-on-one. So if it's included in our service if you work with us. But so once again, we're going to be creating a Botox offer from scratch.
Yes. So I'm just going to go do an overview of our perspective with it. So one of the things is like, why is it important? I think one of the things that I see the most often is people thinking that they don't need an offer and being like, and thinking about it in the short term, like kind of short-sighted, being like, well, if I offer basically like $100 off the first time they come in or whatever it is, that's going to be $100 less. And I mean, that's fine. I would say if you only want to cap out at 10 patients a month or something like that, go ahead. If you don't want to grow to 30, 50, if you don't want to be collecting 20 or 30 or 50 or $100,000 a month, yeah, you don't need an offer. Because if you're just happy, charging people a full price every time, and for new people, then you don't need an offer. If you want to grow, you're going to need an offer. And the reason for this is that if somebody already is working with somebody, you have to give them a reason to try you. Because if they want to pay full price, they'll just go to the person that they've already been going to, even if they're not particularly happy. The risk of potentially changing to somebody else and them not being good is greater than what the known quantity is, right? So it's important for that. You're giving them a reason to try you, and if it goes well, then the next time they come in, they're going to pay full price. And then the next time they come in, they're going to pay full price. What we know from our marketing is for every client, at least 50% of the people that come in once come in 2, 3, 4 times. And with Botox, you might lose $100 or $150, whatever, the first time that they come in, but then you're gaining 3 or 4. Let's say they get 40 units on average or 30 units on average, you're collecting $400. So you lost 100 or 150 up front, but you gained another $1,200 because you gained a new client. And the other thing is just giving yourself at-bats. So getting in and actually having them come in. If you have a good experience, if you're good at what you do, you need at-bats. You need to give people a reason to come in. If it's their first time, giving them a reason to try, because they feel like, oh, wow, like I've wanted to do this. I have a special that is lowering the risk monetarily for me to come and try. Giving you more at-bats, it's giving people a reason to try you. And then essentially what it breaks down to is like your mindset. Like I said, if you just want 10 per month, but you don't want to get to collecting 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K a month, don't have an offer, whatever, just collect the full from everybody that comes in. But essentially you're lowering the risk and action threshold for somebody that's coming in. You're giving yourself more opportunities for reviews, more opportunities for referrals. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I had multiple calls this week with our clients where they said like, this person claimed the offer, but they brought their husband, or this person claimed the offer, but they brought their friend, and then their friend is now bringing their husband. Like that happens all the time. So you get one person in, not only do they potentially leave a review, which 30% of the people that we generate leave reviews. If you're good at asking them for reviews, you'll get 30% more reviews. You're going to get referrals from those people. So you might have lost a little bit of money with that first person, but then they're going to refer you somebody, and then you potentially have 2 long-term clients. So if you can see like stacking that up, if you're able to bring in even just 5 new clients a month, if 3 of them come back, then in a year's time, you'll have 15 reoccurring patients that you're not even bringing in, like just from the offer, let's say. So And also it just gives you a reason to market yourself, like being like, it gives you a reason to post something to say like, hey, like we're doing this crazy special. It's just for the month of March. If you've been looking to try Botox or looking to try us, like come in, this is the special, whatever. So that's kind of an overview from my perspective of why it's important to have an offer, because we have a lot of people we talk to that don't want to have an offer. They just want to run advertising for $12 a unit. And it might work, it more than likely, depending on how competitive your area is. And if you're trying to get somebody to try you, you either have to have excellent reviews, which if you're just starting out, you're not going to have that many, or you're going to have a big brand name, which if you're just starting out like a year or less, you're not going to have that. So you need to give yourself the opportunity to have the at-bats, to get more reviews, to get referrals. And in the short term, you're just going to have to eat a little bit to make that happen.
So Susan, I appreciate you watching, Susan. She commented, Heartland, Michigan. We got a lucky winner for tuning in live. I appreciate it, Susan. So we will go over and create an offer for you. And Heartland, Michigan. Couldn't tell you where that is, but luckily with the internet,
find out.
We will find out your perfect offer in 30 days.
So the concept here when you're creating a good offer is like, I do this a lot. So on our kickoff calls, Caleb probably does this too, is we go through and we say like, okay, do you know who your competitors are? Like, and if you don't, you should know who your competitors are, because you don't necessarily need to price beat everybody, like race to the bottom type thing, but you need to be in the range. For example, if you want to run a $12 per unit offer and you have somebody in your area that's running a $9 per unit offer, it's just not going to cut it. Like you're going to have to at least get close to that for somebody to be like, okay, if you have some good reviews and your advertising or your creative or the engagement that you have is really good, then our perspective is we don't want to beat everybody in price. We want to get good clients. We don't want to get people that are shopping around, but we need to be in the range of being seen as an offer. So the first thing I would do, this is the first thing I do. One, I go exactly like this, Botox in Heartland, Michigan. You can see there's a couple Google ads here. So these are usually, this one's just Botox, so we're not gonna go click that. But the second thing here is a Google ad right here. So I'm gonna click on that and see what type of specials they might have. This is not a very good Google ad. It just brings it to their website. But let's say we'll go over to promotions and events.
I want to chime in there. The reason why it's, just at a super, super simple level, it's if it goes to the website, there's 1,000 different things to click on. People that are driving traffic there are going to they're like, oh, contact, blog, specials, homepage. There's just too much to click on. What we found worked the best is to go directly to a landing page that is specific to that offer.
Yeah, the way that I describe it is like Netflix versus Amazon, is that Amazon doesn't have your money yet and Netflix does. So Netflix doesn't care if you get lost and spend an hour trying to figure out something. Amazon knows that's why they make it so easy for you to buy something, that your attention span is going to be very small. So if you start giving somebody all these options like Netflix, they're going to potentially get lost and then forget what they even went there for. Somebody's going to call them and then they're going to forget that they even went to it. So just one offer, focus on that. The page should only have that offer. I don't know if I need to make a disclaimer for this, but we're not affiliated with any of these people. I don't have anything to do with them. I'm just doing research how we normally do it. I'm not giving any advice about these people. So it looks like there's one person here that has a lot of reviews. Okay, so the only offer is just 50% off of treatments. I'm not sure how close this is, 24 miles away. It looks like there's not that much competition in the area. It doesn't say how many units. Okay, 20 units of Botox. It looks like generally for 40 units for 271, 20 units for 146. Also, side note, I think we researched and I found an article that said Groupon's return rate for first time is about 17%. If you do a really good job, you can probably push that to like 20 or 30%. But the majority of people that go through Groupon are not going to return. Price gouging yourself just to get people in the door, and losing money potentially on your first person, at least break even. That's what I would say. And hopefully you have managed your finances good for that. But if we're looking at this, $7.30 a unit. This is very cheap. So this is the next thing I would do. I would go look at, I want to go see the population density. Okay, so it is, so it'd probably be a decent population density because it's not that far from Detroit. So what I'm going to do now, you can see $7.30 here. I'm not sure what this one is. So this is when I would decide, okay, I don't know how many units they're buying or what type of discounts they get or whatever they're doing. If they're making money or losing money off that, I'm not sure. So now we've gone to look at Google and Groupon. I don't see, I'm gonna look one more time on Google before I head to Facebook. And generally this is a good sign. So for people that don't advertise, the reason why I do this is like usually professionals are behind these offers or they're really good. So generally people that are on here, it's a good way to kind of gauge the range that you should be in. Okay,
H
so
ones that are
you
Botox and Heartland. Try like
so here's like $9 and $10. So from my perspective, just looking at this, because I don't know who else. So Ideal Image is I think a national brand, right? So they're
Yep.
doing $8.90 a unit. So another thing we do usually is we have one of the things I don't like doing is just having a per unit offer or not saying how much it costs. So for example, in this case, I would put how many units are we gonna do, which typically we do 20 units for whatever, right? So, but in this case, we have anywhere between $7 to $10 we're looking at. And so my recommendation here would be to do 20 units for like 189. That's what, from my experience, that's what I would recommend here is there'd be about 950 a unit. And after that, if you charge $12 a unit, anything above that 20 units, you will be making the $12 per unit. And then if they come back, stuff like that. So the main thing is that we want to be below the top of the range for offers, but we're not trying to get to $7 a unit. Like, especially if you have advertising behind it, you don't need that. More than 50% of the people that we see coming in from our ads, generally, on average, some areas are different. It's their first time doing it. They don't necessarily know that other people in the area are getting it for $7 a unit, and we don't want those people. We don't want the people who are coming in and saying like, I saw somebody that was doing it for $7 a unit, I'm gonna go with them, because they're ultimately saving $20, $30. And I think that is a pretty big risk for somebody that's injecting into you. I would go with the higher quality option at that point. But so in this case, for Heartland, my recommendation would be 20 units for 189. The other thing is when you are actually creating the campaign, having a good graphic and a clean graphic. So not like a picture with like a bunch of writing all over it that somebody has to sit there and like and squint at. Very clearly like Botox 20 units 189. And then you can talk in the post about it, but not a whole bunch of words all over the place where somebody's like having to squint. It doesn't look natural. It doesn't catch people's eye. Having some like, let me see if I can pull up some of the creatives that I do, you guys can see. I'm just gonna pause off for a moment. And Caleb, if you have anything to add, feel free to do so while I'm looking this up.
Yeah. So Susan answered about the, I think it was an SEO company. She says we have a company, but not really happy with them. So it seems like you guys are ranking for Heartland those exact keywords. I don't believe there was a Google ad that popped up first.
No.
It was just the SEO, the organic SEO.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll just show you this here. These are the types of creatives that we use, right? We like use colors that pop. We use like different types of fonts, but it's like clean. It's not a bunch of words all over the place. It's even like only 30% of the picture has words on it. So
I think that used to be the metric for Facebook. Anything over 30% of text, they wouldn't approve.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think they can approve it, but they just don't like it. So they're not going to show it as much because this is a different topic, but they want things to look organic. But yeah, so this is from kind of A to Z on creating offers, how to research your area, research your competitors. And usually, like for me, for example, some of these competitors in here might be running Facebook ads, but because they're not ranking on Google, I don't really know. Like,
yeah, we got one more. Austin, Texas, from Leo.
Okay, there's gonna be some competition there. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, Austin's gonna be a much bigger market.
Yeah. Okay, so right here, Ideal Image is here, which I think they're pretty big brand. So about $9 a unit. So this is a Botox ad. Ideal Image, we already know that. I'm not really that worried about them. So their offer is just $12. It says $10 to $16. People are charging $16 a unit. That would be pretty high. Okay, so let's see what they have. Again, I'm not affiliated with these people.
Another thing is before and after pics are really, really important, and they do well with marketing.
Okay. Well, it doesn't even
No pricing.
put a pricing. Yeah.
Probably just have you call.
Okay, I'm gonna do this Groupon. I'm gonna check out their Groupon. Okay, so $10 unit. Okay, 755. We got 20 units for 179, 20 units for 181. So one of the things that I recommend personally is usually if you want somebody coming in that's new, which are from our perspective are great clients. If you want someone, if you're their introduction to the cosmetic and beauty aesthetics world. So one of the things is there, a lot of people won't recognize what Xeomin is. So it's good to talk to them about it when they come in and potentially, get them to do Xeomin. If you prefer Xeomin, we know people that prefer doing Xeomin. But based off of this, I think anywhere from my perspective would be like 189, 20 units or 189, 20 units or 199. I think that would get you in the range of being competitive and being seen as an offer, but you don't need to go down to $7 a unit. You could do 20 units for 179, but I would say that 179 to 199, I wouldn't go lower than that personally. The people that you'll be getting at that price are people that are shopping around. So not recommended from my perspective. Oh, the last thing, when you're actually creating the campaign, one, I would probably create some posts unless you're going to advertise it, which of course advertising works. Clear call to action and a clear time limit. So we just did both of these. Let's say both of y'all did the 20 units for 189. Clear call to action saying, if you're interested in Botox, if you haven't tried us before, or if you're new to Botox, for new patients for the next 3 weeks, we're offering 20 units of Botox for 189, let's say, and then post it again and be like 2 weeks left of this offer, 1 week left of this offer. Today's the last day to schedule yourself to claim this offer of the 20 units for 199. So consistently follow up with people about it. If you're not going to advertise, if you are going to advertise, then you just need to run the advertisement. Consistently following up and being like 3 weeks left, 2 weeks left, 1 week left. Today's the last day, and just having a clear call to action. And if you don't have a good landing page, meaning just Botox, don't send them to your website. Just have them message you or call you. Just say, send us a message or call us. But I wouldn't send them to your website unless that's the only thing on the website. I would add a message button to the post.
Those ads, like directly to message, directly to call, they work. But one thing to notice is make sure there's a follow-up sequence behind that. Like if the majority of people who call or message aren't going to convert at that time. So make sure there's some type of follow-up. Maybe you put them in some type of email campaign or a text campaign to essentially be top of mind, like every other week, every week, saying, hey, how's everything going? We're running this deal. Here's the benefits of Botox, so on and so forth. So follow-up is a really, really big part.
Yeah, you could make posts, but just clear call to actions with it. Like message us right now if you never tried us before, if you're new to Botox or whatever, message us and then we will get you set up for an appointment. But yeah, you could put informational posts out there, whatever, but just keep reminding it and then have a timeline. So being like, if you want to try it, sign up like now, essentially.
We had a question from Leah. What do you call it bringing them in if they are not familiar with Xeomin?
So like I said, I would recommend personally from my perspective, they're going to know what Botox is. If you want to run a Xeomin offer, you're probably going to be targeting people who already have already done Botox because they know what Xeomin is also. So I understand. And like I said in the beginning, it's the mindset of this is like, I understand Xeomin is potentially more profitable. If your goal is to grow and your goal is to go from 5 to 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 recurring patients every month, you want to give yourself at bats and you want to be clear. So for example, before we started marketing for this, I knew what Botox was. I had no idea what Xeomin was. And I know I'm not a girl, so I get that. But I do know that from our experience, we get a lot of comments like, if we have run those types of ads, we get a lot of comments like, what is Xeomin? Like, what's the difference? And it's just better to just be clear and be like, if they come in and you explain to them the differences of the two and ask them what they would like to do and they want to do Xeomin or you eventually switch them over to Xeomin, that's a possibility. But if you're trying to get particularly new people in, they're much more likely to know about Botox. So having a Botox offer, you can still make educational posts about Xeomin that'll give people, they'll be able to still come in if they see that. But as far as offers, we love new people. We love people that are new to Botox or they've never been to a medical spa, they've never done injections or injectables of any sort. They're going to know what Botox is, but it's not guaranteed that they're going to know what Xeomin is. So You might lose $50 of profit the first time they come in because they did Botox regimen, but you also might see 5 or 6 more people because you were talking about something that they already knew or they had heard about, and they came in because of it. So that's how we view it. I think if you want to grow, I don't recommend. I think if you're already having success with a Botox offer, then you can add in a Xeomin offer. But I would recommend focusing on something if you want people that are new. Like if you want people that have never even been to a medical spa before, which, like I said, I'll say it over and over again, they are the best people to have and to have come in.
And they don't have any bad habits or anything that has deterred them in the past. You get to craft that entire experience with those new people. So you have a really good shot at having a lifetime client if you create a great experience. Obviously, the pricing is a big part, but people invest in their body and their face, and if they have a great experience, they will come back. They will travel. So hopefully that helps. And one more thing I wanted to mention is focus on the benefit. Don't focus on like the product. No one cares about the product. They care about what they get from the product. It's all results oriented. Like make sure in the marketing and the consultations and everything that you're talking about is all results driven. Because in the end, like we know the product matters, but it's all about the result.
You want to get new people in, as many new people as you can. If you can get 10 new people in a month and 50% of them return, that means in a year, you'll have, I think, 20 returning people every month that you didn't have the year before. And that could potentially be worth 10 grand a month over time. So it's, this is business. Like even when we were getting started marketing or doing it for this industry, we knew that we had to, and we still know we have to create offers that people are like, okay, I'll give you guys a shot. You're giving me an offer that's enticing to sign up with you, whatever your guarantee is and stuff like that. So we know that still, and there's nobody that knows marketing better than marketers. And like we do this. So
I think that was it in the comments. Hopefully this brought everybody in this group value. The majority of this group is just starting out or wants to start a med spa, don't really know where to start. Hopefully crafting a good offer that's probably the first step that I would start with if I was starting a med spa, is making sure you have an offer that people are willing to take and to get you more at bats, just like Alex has said. And if you provide a great experience, you're going to grow your business.
Yeah. So I guess the only other thing is if you guys found this useful and valuable and you want us to do another video like this on another procedure, whether it be fat freeze or lipocavitation or fillers or PDO threads, just comment below what you want us to go over. And if we get enough people that want us to do it, we'll do it again. And if you're one of the first people to post, then we will basically give you a free consultation on what you think your positioning should be in your market.
All right. Awesome. Thanks everybody for watching. Hopefully you got value. Share this with somebody who's just starting out. Chances are somebody in the medical spa industry, in the aesthetic industry that needs help. Hopefully we're kind of that voice of reason. So share it. Leave a comment if you saw value and what you want to see more of. So once again, Alex, I really appreciate your expertise here and taking the time out to educate these people.
Glad to help.
All right. Awesome. Appreciate it, Alex. Thanks everybody for watching. Take care.